Hey, Rob Gibson here with the Cross Ministry Group. We've been talking about safe and healthy relationships. And in this fifth video, I want to suggest to you the idea of seeing the other, seeing you as sacred. C.S. Lewis says this. He says, you've never met a mere mortal. You've never met just somebody that's ordinary. In fact, he says this, he says, next to the holy sacraments themselves, your neighbor is the most holy thing you'll ever encounter. And I think what he's trying to get across to us there is that we as image bearers, I made in the image of the Lord, we are sacred, we are holy, we are good. And so when I shift and start to see you as something that is sacred rather than just an ordinary person, but something that is beautifully made, wonderfully made, as the psalmist says in Psalm 139, fearfully and wonderfully made. When I start to see you that way, when I start to see my neighbor and others as that way, then the sacred within me connects to the sacred within them. And at that point, rather than something that can be disposed of, rather than something that can be maligned, mistreated, or pushed away, it's something sacred. I thought about this as thinking through this. It would never dawn on me to walk into a place of worship, to walk into a sacred sanctuary. I'm picturing in my mind a great cathedral, maybe in New York City or in Europe, but to walk into one of those places and just let vile words come out of my mouth and anger and whatever, because there's something sacred there, and it's like, oh, this is a place that ought to be treated with honor and respect, and so I carry myself a certain way there. So I wonder if we could shift and go, you know what, a building is only sacred because we call it sacred and we make it beautiful and it's decorated in such a way. But what if we looked at one another and said, you know what, this person before me, even if I vehemently disagree with them, even if we're sideways with one another because something's happened in our relationship, but if I looked at you and you looked at me and we looked at one another as sacred, how much would that change our relationship? And even if I knew, you look at me, though you may disagree with me, and I may be wrong about something big, or I may have offended you, but still you see me as sacred, how would that change the safety in our relationships? How would that change the beauty of the relationship? So just want to encourage you, consider those you see today. Consider those in your family, your wife, your husband, your kids, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever that you interact with, the guy at work that you don't particularly like. What if you looked at him and said, yet he is sacred? See if that doesn't improve the health and the safety within your own soul, but also how you see others. Hope this encourages you. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Take care.